Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be another video talking about The Walking Dead Season 4. This one was requested by Jenna Schofield, who wants to know what my thoughts are on Norman Reedus' comments, as well as Gale and Hurd's comments, that there's going to be a twist in The Walking Dead Season 4, and something is going to make the walkers even more deadly, or even bigger of a threat. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we're just a few days away. We've got confirmation that the Walking Dead Season 4 trailer will be shown this Friday. But still, I want to give my thoughts on some of the recent developments because we don't know how much is going to be shown in the trailer or whether or not this kind of thing will be confirmed or what they'll say in interviews and these kinds of things. But at this point, both Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl in the Walking Dead television series, and Gale and Hurd, who is the executive producer, who's been on the show since the beginning of the series with Frank Darabont, got it started, was a producer at the beginning, and is still with the show. Surprising, right? So, I would think so, with all the changes in the people that are involved in the production and everything. So anyway, they both basically have said that there's going to be something that occurs in The Walking Dead Season 4 that is going to increase the threat of walkers, increase the threat of the zombies. Now, I think that's an interesting point. In Season 3, we kind of had the whole promo for it. Well, the line that they put on most of the trailers and things like that is fight the dead, fear the living, which is what they used, and they kind of made it evident that the governor, Woodbury, living people, survivors in a zombie apocalypse, are much more dangerous than walkers themselves. And the threat of the walkers was sort of brought down. Whereas in Season 2, at the season finale, we really got the sense that walkers are extremely dangerous with the herd that came through and cleared out Herschel's farm. They all had to evacuate and run in different directions and try to pick up the pieces afterwards. So in Season 4, it seems like they're going to be doing kind of a mix of both, but they're going to really be trying to bring the threat back of the walkers to the show. So what do I think they're going to do? Well, the thing that Norman Reedus says about the twist that's going to make them more dangerous, I don't exactly know what that would be. Now, in the comic book series, walkers are walkers. There's never been any kind of evolution of them. There's never been any kind of, things like that have made them more dangerous. They've always kind of been stagnant. There are your roamers and your lurkers. Difference being roamers will aimlessly roam around looking for food. Lurkers will wait in certain spots and then attack at an instant, sort of like the one that was able to bite Herschel on the ankle in the Season 3 premiere. If you guys remember, that would be classified as a lurker, waiting there until Herschel comes by, so he doesn't even know it's there, that everybody walks by him, and then he really quickly bites Herschel on the leg. So you've got the separation of those two in the comic book series, but you never really had any kind of examination of different types of walkers, of different levels of danger between them. They were all kind of basically static across the board. The television series has brought in some new elements that weren't in the comic book series, such as Morgan's wife, with her using the door handle and looking in to the door to try and see who's there, this type of thing. And something that the Romero films, the original George A. Romero films, certain ones, like for example Day of the Dead, my favorite zombie movie ever, which by the way I have to review eventually, and then you have of course Land of the Dead, which actually took it to another degree, and Survival of the Dead I think took it even further, where you have walkers that are doing, zombies that are doing even more intelligent things, smart walkers so to speak. Now, do I think that's the direction they're going, that they're going to bring in some more intelligent walkers in the Walking Dead television series? I think that would be interesting, and I would actually really enjoy seeing that. Really like to see their take on some different types of walkers, whereas ones maybe have some more brain activity than the others. They kind of examined that in Season 1 with the CDC and Jenner, as he is analyzing and talking about the brain stem and how basically they're acting on the most primordial instincts at the very base of the stem, movement, looking for food, all these types of things, but there's no higher activation in the brain of any kind. I think it's an interesting concept that maybe there are certain walkers out there that for some reason or another have more brain activity and can act more intelligently. Like for example, very scary walkers like Land of the Dead, you have Big Daddy, who was a mechanic, and he is like a leader. He becomes a leader of walkers. in which case there are fireworks going off that people use to distract the walkers, and Big Daddy kind of realizes what's happening, and he walks around and he starts pushing the other walkers and waking them up because they're just watching these fireworks and they're just going, ooh, watching them go off. So he kind of pushes them, wakes them, he's like, hey, wake up, this is a distraction. And then you have also the butcher, who is a very cool walker who basically walks around with a meat cleaver, and he uses that to cut up his food or to cut holes in fences and stuff like that. You know, he'll use the cleaver and he'll be hacking down a fence and doing things like that so they can get through. The walkers can get through. So these are interesting concepts of smart walkers and other things we've seen in other zombie media. I think something like that would be really cool in The Walking Dead, because we have seen, even though it's never been, there's never been any explanation for it, we've just seen here and there a few smart walkers. For example, the one that used the rock in Season 1, Guts, Episode 2, to smash the window open. That is an example of a smart walker. He was intelligent enough to grab a rock and use it to smash the window, whereas all the others were just aimlessly bashing against the window, right? So that is something that's not really completely a new concept to The Walking Dead. They've kind of hinted at it in the past. So I think that would be really fun and really interesting if that's where they're going. To make a prediction on it, though, I don't think that's where they're going. I don't think they're going for the smart walker idea. I don't think Robert Kirkman likes that idea, because if he did, we would have probably already seen it in the comic book series, and we never have. In over 110 issues, we never have. Or 12 now. So I don't think they're going that route. I think what they're going to be doing is just kind of examining the walkers and seeing that they are starting to starve, or they're slowly decomposing, things like this. So maybe what's going to happen is it's been so long into the zombie apocalypse that so many of them are starving that when they see food, they will become like rabid dogs, you know, attacking any kind of people they see. So if Rick's group, for example, was to go to a power plant and walk through it, well, the walkers there may not have seen a living, breathing person, survivor, for 2 or 3 years now. So at the sight of one, they're going to go nuts. They're going to go berserk and move as quickly as they can, even though they're decomposing, and maybe have bones sticking out and things of this nature, and really attack people. So I think that's probably where they're going, is that it has something to do with the starvation, and just them at the sight of food and so long are going to go berserk, basically, and be more hungry and be more decomposed and be you know, have sharper bones on their fingers, and just things like that, to where their bodies are more decomposed so that they're more dangerous, because bones are sharper, of course, than like your finger by itself with skin on it is not sharp. But walkers that, you know, let's say claw against a wall for a really long time or something like that, they're going to wear off the skin so that there's just bone there, and it will become sharpened because they keep doing that, which is Greg Nicotero explains the walker that killed Dale. That's the idea behind it. Even though there was never any exposition to explain that in the series, afterwards on Talking Dead he explained that when they're doing these types of things, trying to get food, clawing against brick and buildings and things like that to get in, it will wear off, and then their bones will become sharper at the tip on their fingers, so when they attack somebody they can really cut them open, or really, you know, grab them, and because they've got those almost like claws they turn into. So I think they're going somewhere along those lines. I don't think they're going for the smart walker take. That's just a prediction, though. I could be completely off base, or I could be completely wrong, but I don't think it's anything like magical, like some of the stuff like fast walkers in World War Z, where they're jumping and running and doing all this. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think it's just going to be the fact that the twist is basically that they're starving, that they're going to be way more aggressive because they haven't seen food in so long. They're going to be decomposing. Their bodies are going to be more, you know, like dangerous because of the bones sticking out and things like that after the decomposition. So I think that's probably where they're going, but I'd like to see the smart walker take on it if they'll do it. I just don't think that they will do it, but I'd really like to see it. I think that'd be really interesting, and see their take on it, because I do think that's an interesting concept, but I think Romero in his movies may have taken it a little bit too far. Granted, he invented the zombie apocalypse genre, so he can do whatever he wants. Romero is basically the king, so if he wants to say this is how it is and you're wrong, who's going to argue with that? He created the genre. You can't argue with the dude that created it. Even Robert Kirkman could not argue with Romero. If Romero says, no, this is how zombies are, and he says, well, in The Walking Dead it's like this. Yeah, but universally, the dude outside of, just The Walking Dead, the dude that created the genre makes the rules, and that's all there is to it. I'm just saying, okay? The dude that created the genre is the one who makes the rules. He's the one who created the idea and created the first zombie movie, so you got to give credit there. But I do think he might have gone a little bit far with Day of the Dead with the Bub zombie, and Land of the Dead with the mechanic Big Daddy zombie, who actually at one point is smart enough to use gasoline and light it on fire. I think that's a bit of a stretch, even though it was Romero. So you can argue it either way. You can say he can do whatever he wants because he created the genre. I still feel like it's a little bit of a stretch, but again, it's Romero, so he can do what he wants. So I hope that in the Walking Dead television series we do see some new interesting things like that, and maybe also too it could be like Hurd's getting started. Like the whole Hurd at the end of season 2. Maybe we'll start to see a lot more grouping of zombies and herds and things like that, more all over the place, because they're roaming for food, so they start to kind of group together and go together in small herds. So that's another possibility too. So I think it's one of the three. I think it's either there's going to be more herds out and about because of the time and roamers and lurkers, or we're going to see some smart walkers, which is my favorite, but I don't think they'll do it. Or we're just going to see the starvation causes them to become more aggressive for food and more rabid. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's an interesting topic. Like I said, both Norman Reedus and Gale and Hurd have talked about how the threat of the walkers is going to be upped and a twist, so we'll see where they're going with it. I hope smart walkers, but I don't think so. I think starving, rabid walkers. So let me know what you guys think about the topic. Heavily interesting one. I want to thank Jenna Schofield for that. Thanks for watching and all the great video topic suggestions over the years. Appreciate that very much. And from all you guys too who suggest the topics and put some of the ideas out there and thumb them up, I appreciate that too. So anyway, I'll call it here. That's long enough for this video. So that's it for today's Walking Dead video. I'll look for lots more coming this weekend with Comic-Con. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.